Namaste, welcome to my channel. This is Priyadarshini. Today in this video I'll discuss about breathing and exchange of gases. Previously I have made videos on digestive system and the link is in the description box. So let's start our topic.
Breathing and exchange of gases. Oxygen is utilized by the organisms to indirectly break down simple molecules like glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, etc. to derive energy to perform various activities. CO2, which is harmful, is also released during the above catabolic reactions. It is therefore evident that O2 has to be continuously provided to the cells and CO2 produced by the cells have to be released out. This process of exchange of O2 from the atmosphere with CO2 produced by the cells is called breathing, which is also known as respiration. It occurs in two stages, namely inspiration and expiration, which is also called inhalation and exhalation. During inhalation, air enters the lungs from atmosphere and during exhalation, air leaves the lungs. During normal breathing, inhalation is the active process and expiration is a passive process, which is also called exhalation. Mechanisms of breathing vary among different groups of animals depending upon their habitats and level of organization. Lower invertebrates like sponges, coelentrates, flatworms, etc. exchange O2 with CO2 by simple diffusion over their entire body surface. Earthworms use their moist cuticle and insects have a network of tracheal tubes to transport atmospheric air within the body. Special vascularized structures called gills, branchial respiration, which is called as branchial respiration, are used by the most of the aquatic arthropods and mollusks, whereas vascularized bags called lungs, which is in pulmonary respiration, are used by the terrestrial forms for the exchange of gases. Among vertebrates, fishes use gills, whereas amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals respire through lungs. Amphibians like frogs can respire through their moist skin, which is cutaneous respiration. In this chapter, we will discuss about human respiratory system. In theory exams, if we draw the diagram first, we can easily write every feature of the structure. So let's start learning the various parts of respiratory system and how to draw it. as we have learned how to draw the diagrams of respiratory system, the first one is diagram showing the relation between oral cavity, respiratory passage and the esophagus. First part of human respiratory system, nostrils. You can see in the diagram, here it is. Holes of the nose are called nostrils. These are external nares. These are paired openings that open into nasal cavities. Now, nasal cavity are separated from each other by a thin cartilaginous median vertical portion called nasal septum. Three bony ridges, the superior, middle and inferior nasal conchae, arise from the wall of each nasal cavity. Pharynx. As it has been described in the digestive system, it comprises nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. Now the larynx. Here you can see the anterior view of larynx. Until puberty, there is a little difference in the size of larynx in man and woman. Larynx is also called as voice box. Therefore, it grows larger and becomes prominent in man. Therefore, it is called as Adam's apple in man. Human larynx consists of following structures: the glottis, cartilages of the larynx, epiglottis, thyroid cartilage, cricket cartilage, arytenoid cartilage, hyoid bone. The first is glottis. The pharynx opens into the larynx by a slit-like aperture called glottis. Cartilages of the larynx. There are 9 pieces of cartilages. 3 are single and 3 are paired. Epiglottis. Here you can see in the diagram the epiglottis, which is at the top. It is a leaf shaped cartilage which projects into the pharynx. It is made up of elastic cartilage. During swallowing, the epiglottis closes the glottis to check the entry of food in it. Thyroid cartilage. It is the largest cartilage of the larynx. It has V-shaped depression called thyroid notch. Cricket cartilage. It is like a signet ring and lies below the thyroid cartilage. It is also made up of hyaline cartilage. Arytenoid cartilage. They are small, 2 in number and are pyramidal in shape. They are situated at the back of the larynx. Hyoid bone. It lies just above the larynx. Embryonically, it is considered a bone of skull. Thyroid membrane. It is a broad flat membrane attached to the hyoid bone above and to the thyroid cartilage below. Vocal cords. Inside the larynx there are present the vocal cords. These are 2 pairs of folds of mucous membranes that extend into the lumen of the larynx from the sides. The upper pair is termed the false vocal cords and the lower pair is called true vocal cords. The vocal cords are made up of yellow elastic tissue covered by non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Remember guys, it is an important line. The vocal cords are made up of yellow elastic tissue covered by a non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. The trachea is lined by pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium bearing glandular cells which are mucus glands. Trachea you can see in the diagram, it is the windpipe and primary bronchi is also seen. The larynx leads into the long tube, the trachea or the windpipe bearing rings of hyaline cartilage which are incomplete posteriorly. These cartilaginous rings support the walls of the trachea and prevents it collapse during inspiration. Now we will see lungs. we'll learn about lungs. There are present a pair of lungs which lies in the thoracic cavity on either side of the heart. The thoracic cavity is enclosed behind by the thoracic vertebrae, laterally by ribs, and in front by the sternum. The thoracic cavity is closed below by the diaphragm. You can see the diaphragm is there. This is the picture we can draw in exams and explain the features of the larynx. And now, what is pleurae? Each lung is enclosed in two membranes called pleurae. Here, the membrane which covers is the pleurae. The outer membrane is called as parietal pleurae. The inner membrane is called as visceral pleurae. Mediastinum. Here, this portion is called as mediastinum. The mediastinum, strictly speaking, is the partition between two lungs and therefore includes the pleurae of both sides, but in general defined as the interval between two pleural sacs. It contains heart, esophagus, thoracic duct of lymphatic system and remains of thymus.
Thank you for watching my video. In the next video, I'll discuss about the structure of lungs and the mechanism of breathing. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Please like, share and subscribe my channel, and do not forget to hit the bell icon. Thank you.